Well, sweet. Hey guys, this is the Heat Academy. This is episode 2, our second podcast. Today, I have Lane, the producer, videographer, recorder, whatever, all the things.
Yeah.
Extraordinaire.
Usually behind the camera, today in front of the camera. Used to be in front of the camera. Now I'm back in front of it.
Hey,
Feels
welcome
weird.
back.
Usually the one behind the scenes. And I've been kind of just playing around and trying to make some videos and make some content, blah, blah, blah. A long time ago, probably 2 years ago now, me and Patrick sat down for about 3 hours.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
And made a podcast.
Yeah.
And nothing ever happened with it. I lost the footage. I lost the motivation. And you rescued me from that, I think.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
Back at it. Let's get into this. Let's do what we're supposed to be doing. And before I have to make 1,000 million cuts.
Yeah.
What are we doing today?
Well, today, man, what we're going to do is we're going to look at kind of a big list of shoes that are coming out in 2025. It was originally going to start with the 25 shoes that you need to pay attention to in the year 2025. The list kind of ballooned to almost 60. So we're going to go through them kind of photo by photo and talk about the shoe. What's really important to understand and know is some of these images are not official images.
Okay.
You know, so for those guys and girls who, are really going to be paying attention, they might say, hey, is that how it's going to look? We're not saying that this is exactly how they're going to look, but this is just to give you kind of an idea of what to expect.
So this is the official, unofficial sneak peek of shoes you're excited for 2025?
Some of them.
Because you put this list together, I feel like it's going to be straight Nike.
Well, this is the thing. Whenever I was compiling the list, dude, there wasn't a whole lot of information on the ASICS side of things, the Saucony side of things, the New Balance. If you paid attention to episode 1, like the list that we made for the year-end review for last year, there's a place for all of that. You know, so we're not just Nike-centric, Jordan brand-centric. Right. But this list will be primarily a Nike Jordan brand list.
I feel like the things with the legacy brands, that have held that top one spot over the years, they have that staying power and that fan base built in to where a lot of the brands that are just starting to see their shine, the ASICS, the New Balances, even Brooks, On Clouds, and things like that, people might not have the contacts and the tap-in spots, if you will, to get the early looks, to get the previews and things like that. Yeah. Where, like, Nike people have had their connects for decades now.
Yeah,
since Nike Talk, able to drop early stuff and drop leaks and things like that. And maybe that's why, because I don't see anything that's early from any of the other brands. I don't know if you do, like this far in advance, a year's worth in advance.
Most of the smaller brands don't do that.
Yeah.
One of the big reasons why Jordan brand is real heavy, it's the 40th anniversary. So 2025 is the 40th anniversary of Jordan brand. So they have literally opened the vault and went crazy. So there's a lot of really, really good ones.
And they're trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, I guess.
Dude, they're pulling a lot out the hat.
Yeah. Okay.
Some people believe that it's like an overcorrection.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is an overcorrection in the sense of Nike and Jordan brand falling off the last year or two. But they have this stuff planned years in advance.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing this year, they have been planning this.
Right.
This wasn't like a knee-jerk reaction to last year, although some of it maybe.
Yeah.
But a lot of this was pre-planned. So 2025, 40th anniversary of Jordan brand. There's some Nike products on here. It's primarily a Jordan brand Nike list. We do believe in all the other brands, and they're going to make exceptional things. But for the sake of this video, it's just really going to be a Nike Jordan brand video.
Cool.
Yeah, well, let's get into it, man.
Let's open this can of worms up. Let's see what we got. First one here.
First one.
Blow it up big.
Oh, my goodness. Dude, I need 2 pairs.
2 pairs.
2 pairs off the top. This is the toe cap steel 10s. So when the shoe originally dropped, it had that toe cap piece. Jordan hated it. And he said, take it off. So after that, they discontinued that version of it, and they released the version where it doesn't have the toe cap. And all subsequent releases have been without the toe cap. So this is the first time since 94, I think it was, that we actually get this version.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't play in this shoe, right? This is his off season?
Yeah, this is after his first retirement.
Interesting. So he still didn't like it even though he wasn't playing, because on the bottom it's all like on the sole, it's all of his accomplishments, right? On this model.
Yeah.
So he still like had a big input on it even though he wasn't.
I mean, at this point, El Capitan.
Yeah.
You know, so he had the say so and was like, nope, I don't like that. Take that off. And I had this version when it first came out. So what I plan on doing is whenever I get the first pair, I'm taking the factory laces out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting lavender rope laces in. That's exactly how I had it back in the day.
Is that kind of like, one, that's pretty cool, but how you feel about that, like lace swapping? Is that kind of like a faux pas for you, if you will, or is it just like do what you do?
Well, do what you do, mostly. For the large majority of shoes that I own, I go factory lacing. Yeah. Whatever comes with the shoe. I honestly have only swapped out laces on, I think, 2 pairs in my entire life.
Really?
This pair and a pair of Tim's back in the day, man. I put red laces in them joints.
Yeah. Okay.
That's back in the 90s, too. People couldn't even comprehend it.
The lace swap.
Lace swap.
You never swapped them out to like the little springy laces that you can stretch out, the curly cues on it back in the 2000s, whatever they were called.
Nah, man.
It was like the grown-up version of Velcro shoes. It looked like you could tie your shoes, but then, that's interesting.
Yeah, great shoe.
For me, it's like the laces have to match the tongue. That's it for me. Like, that's my bother. But I guess we're going into what's next. We don't know.
I have no idea.
It's just like we're pulling rabbits out of the hat right here.
Seriously.
What we got here?
What you think about this?
It's very clean.
Yeah?
Very clean. Reflective tongue?
Reflective tongue. And then you see how they have the white trim on all the panels?
Yeah.
That's all 3M.
Really?
Yes.
So super band not allowed at all in the NBA.
Yeah.
That's how that would be.
The Nike hit on the back where it says Nike Air. Traditionally, this is the black metallic 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's white stitching on the OG pair.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3M on this one as well.
So some releases didn't have the reflective 3M tongue, right?
On this particular pair, I think they've all had the 3M. On the black metallic. Now, they do have like the Fire Red 5. It has a black tongue version and a reflective.
Okay.
We're going to get ahead of ourselves, but one of those is coming out this year.
And for reference, I'm kind of I'm adjacent to the sneaker community. I appreciate it. I understand the mechanics and the science behind it. I get more fascinated in the construction. But as far as like digging through the crates and doing the most knowledge, that's what you're here for. Yeah, that's why this is the Heat Academy.
Look, man, it's the Heat Academy. We're teaching and learning. We're learning and teaching.
Okay.
So, this shoe right here, the Black Metallic 5, was actually the first Jordan that I ever got into.
Really?
Back in 1990, when this shoe came out, I was at Paul Bro. One of my classmates in PE had them on, and I was like, dude, what is this? And he was like, well, it's the Jordan 5. And I said, I'm going to get those. Went to the mall. They were sold out. So in my mind, I thought, well, I'll just get them when they come out again, not knowing that the next shoe was going to be the 6. So I never got these back in the day, but it led me to my first Jordan ever, which was the Black Infrared 6, which happens to be my favorite Jordan of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a solid pick.
Yeah, no, a great shoe. And this is actually the Jordan that got Derek Curry, the owner of Politics, into Jordans.
Really?
Yeah. So we're around the same age, and I was talking to him one day at a Shake Back Sunday, an event that they have every month.
Shout out to Politics.
Shout out to Politics.
Yeah.
For sure. And we were talking about the 5, and he said, dude, this is the shoe that like really started it for me. And I was like, same.
That's interesting.
Great shoe. Classic.
Let's see what we got next.
Oh, man. White Cement 4, bro. Proper shape. They changed the shape. They changed the speckle. We haven't had this shoe in a long time. Got Nike Air on the back.
Super clean.
Super clean, dude.
I would wear this shoe.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty particular. So for me, it's like, one, I need a shoe that I can wear. I don't want it to be a challenge. I don't want it to be, because I kind of changed like what I'm liking to wear almost every day. Some days I'm wearing straight pants, some it's baggy, sometimes I'm wearing little hoochie daddy shorts, and it's kind of got to fit into all those things.
Yeah.
And this shoe is like, I know I have a lot of white shoes, and I told myself to stop buying white shoes. That's a really, really, really good shoe.
Yeah, it's classic. It's in my opinion, I think that the bread or the black cement is the best Jordan 4 out of the OG colors. I am not mad at anybody who chooses this as their favorite 4. It's just great. It's clean. It's going to do numbers for sure.
Oh yeah, simple, super simple. Do we have any clue on like numbers of what are they putting out this year? Is it a lot? Is it a little? How are they going?
Well, in recent years, it was a lot.
Yeah.
They really pushed the envelope. Nike has a new CEO, and basically what he said was he was going to dial some of that back.
Yeah.
So my expectation, being that a lot of this stuff was probably planned on before he ever got the gig, that a lot of those numbers in those orders probably will remain the same.
Yeah.
I do expect on anything like this or the black metallic 5s to be a big release. So that could be anywhere from 250,000 to 500,000 pairs, possibly. I would guess. That's kind of what we saw with the Lost and Founds.
Okay.
It was the most produced Jordan 1 of all time, and that was at 500,000 pairs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. We're kind of rotated back to the point where Jordans aren't selling out again.
Yeah.
So I guess they're trying to course correct to that, because over quarantine and whenever everybody was at the house, they really tried to switch to like a direct to consumer, like marketing strategy. And then they tried to do everything with, Nike Web 0.0? What were they doing?
Man, are you talking about the
like NFT stuff?
Yeah.
And like they were really trying to get into the metaverse. They were doing some weird stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess they're trying to because to me, that's what made Nike special, is that it was like the Supremes, the Palace, it's creating scarcity. Yeah. It's creating this hype behind it. And they've lost that. If it's just accessible, if I can just go out and buy any Jordan 1, 4, or whatever that's coming out, just off the shelf retail, it's kind of like, why is it special?
For the majority of Jordan Brand's history, there's a mystique behind it.
Okay.
There's like a status symbol associated with me being able to have a pair of Jordans. And, it has to be a difficult path to maneuver.
Yeah.
Being a for-profit corporation.
Right.
Like how much do we give? How little do we give? And I think the thing that really hurt Jordan Brand and Nike over the last 2 years is, economically, the cost of living went up 30%. Their product went up 20%. Yeah. That's a 50% swing.
Yeah.
So you have kind of the perfect storm of overproduction, too many pairs. They're even more expensive. And then people have less disposable income. And I think they just got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. And John Donahoe, the former CEO, was the casualty of it. Yeah. And also, no shade to him. I don't know the man or anything like that, but he wasn't a shoe dog to begin with.
From what I understand, he was like really big tech guy, PayPal, stuff like that, and he was flying into Beaverton all the time, didn't live there, didn't really, I guess, like not really a part of anything, which is interesting.
Not
It's a money man. I get numbers man.
He was a numbers guy.
A
number guy. And I mean, in the sense, the strategy made sense on paper, but was poor in execution. Like, hey, this is the guy that can lead us to direct to consumer.
Right.
And it just backfired, man.
But the whole problem with DTC and direct to consumer to me is that the fans of Nike, the people that have supported them over the years, are not being taken care of at that point. Like, there becomes this threshold where the reason I think that Jordan Brand specifically and Nike have survived for so long is that the kind of like the mystique you have said behind it, the whole community. I mean, when you go from 180,000 pairs to 280, then to 500,000 pairs, everybody kind of gets shortchanged. The whole community, like there's no one left in cook groups, buy groups. I mean, resellers, StockX, everything. The whole market kind of crashes. It's like, I guess, like you're saying, a fine line between supply and demand. And it's a difficult tightrope to walk, but I think they fell off this last couple of years. It's like they destroyed the whole community almost was supporting them.
I think the biggest thing that they underestimated was how relational sneakers are. And this is what I mean by that. You know, people that are in the community, people who buy a lot of shoes a year, they want to go to their local boutique. They want to go to their local mom and pop. They want to go to their local neighborhood store. And what Nike did was they canceled and closed a lot of accounts. And Nike has no direct relationship to that consumer.
Right.
But the people that they would wholesale to that would eventually sell to the consumer does.
Right.
You know the store owner, you know the employees, you build a relationship to where you, to some degree, know what's going on in each other's lives. And they completely underestimated that. And that's what got them in trouble.
Well, let's see what's going to get them out of trouble.
I don't know, man.
Maybe it's this next shoe.
Let's hope. Let's see. I have no idea what it is. This is what I was talking about. So this is the Black Tongue Fire Red.
Okay.
So they have a reflective tongue. This is the Black Tongue. People have been asking for this for years. And dude, such a good shoe. It's so clean. I debate back and forth as to which one I like more. I'm a sucker for 3M.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. But it is nice to have the alternative.
How do you wear lace locks? Do you know? Is there a right way? Is there a wrong way? I look at them and I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like it's a lost art, I feel like. It's a time past.
It's unnecessary technology.
Is it?
Yeah, I would say so. At the time, I'm sure they were like, we are cooking with this.
Yeah.
You know, this is something new. The only shoe that I own that has lace locks that I still wear is the Black Infrared 6. And I wear it because it's just how I wore it back in the day. So I keep the same routine type of deal. But I know some people just absolutely dislike them.
Yeah. It's 5, 6, and 7 that have lace locks?
5 for sure. 6. 7 didn't.
7 didn't.
No, I think that's it for the stuff that's on the lower side of 14. Because a lot of people, once you pass 14, they just
and all the crazy stuff.
Which I like.
It's different because 8 went to the kind of ankle strap, right?
Yeah, there's a couple 8s on here.
Really?
Some super good ones too.
Let's see if we get to them.
Oh, Great 5. What do you think about this?
Classic shoe.
Yeah.
It brings me back to, I think it was Jerry Seinfeld I first saw wearing these back in the day.
Yeah.
And just like one of those shoes that just, you see it and it's like, to me, it needs to be worn with a pair of light, straight leg jeans.
Okay.
Like kind of like what you're wearing right now, like a light wash that fades into the shoe because the shoe's loud. But it's also
it got some stuff going on for sure.
Yeah. It's like, to me, the coolest part of this shoe is the shark teeth. That's like inspired by the old fighter pilots, World War I or World War II.
Yeah.
So
you're doing the knowledge. Yeah.
That's the part of the shoe that's cool to me. So to have it in that like teal pop colorway that just stands out so much. And that blue and purple mixture is such a hard color combination to get right.
I think out of all the OG 5s, this is the most 90s one. This one screams 1990.
What's our cups from back in the day?
Yeah.
The old, man, who did that? Is Jazz Cups, I think?
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's what this screams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Someone is absolutely going to do a fit that way. They're going to have the grapes on. They're going to do bottoms and tops with that whole Jazz Cup vibe.
It just gives me like 2000s, maybe even 90s Taco Bell.
Oh, dude.
Where like everything inside of it was kind of those colors. But then you get like a Baja Blast with this. This is it. This is the fit.
Someone's going to do it like old boy did with the Gatorade 6s.
Gatorade on the Gatorade on the Gatorade on the Gatorade.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we got next then. Good shoe.
Oh, man. Gamma 11. Okay, so this shoe originally dropped in 2013. This is the first shoe that I ever sold in Lafayette.
Really?
Right? Yeah. And what's really interesting about this shoe is it came out whenever they were still making low cut patent leather on 11s. Well, they ended up transitioning to a higher cut, which was truer to the OG version.
Right.
So I'm interested to see the low cut is true to this shoe, but they're currently in the high cut era. So it will be fun to see this shoe with a high cut patent leather on it, because in a sense, it's not true to its original form. I prefer the higher cut personally, but Nike definitely missed an opportunity last year. They could have done a 10th anniversary on this shoe, because the Gamma 12 and the Gamma 11 both came out in 2013. They could have gave us a pack last year, 10th anniversary. Let that be the Christmas pack. Oh, dude.
You think packs will ever come back?
We talked a little bit about this on the first pod with Kalen. Maybe so. It's just...
That's a hard sell these days.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
But if you think about it, with how expensive their shoes are getting individually, if you get a quality 11, a quality 12 for $500, I'm paying it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah. So what you're talking about here is it's the patent leather down here, which is first shoe that they really put patent leather on, from my understanding. Like this much
the
information.
11?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but you're talking about the wave here, right? It's higher cut on this model, a little bit higher than usual.
Yeah, this is a picture of the old version of Gamma from 2013. So it's probably going to have the higher cut that's truer to the original. That's what they've been doing for almost the last 10 years at this point. So it should be higher than what we see in this pick. I don't see them doing this version of it. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Some people hate this shoe. Some people absolutely love this shoe. It's very polarizing, because whenever it came out off of the heels of like absolute classics, like Concords, Breads. Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, a lot of firsts for this shoe, from my understanding. First time carbon fiber shank, that carbon fiber was in the shoe.
Yep.
Patent leather. It's like the first like real like modern performance basketball shoe to me from Jordan.
Yeah.
That's like playable. Like you can still play in this shoe. If you try and play in ones, twos, threes, like fours even.
Crazy.
It's like having boots on your feet.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to do the whole concept was, I want to be able to take a shoe from the court to the restaurant.
Dress them up.
Dress them up.
You could dress them down.
Exactly.
Patent leather. Tuxedo fits and all with this. This is like 2011 prom to me. That's what it screams. Like trying to get some. Also, too, like this is the first time I remember seeing booty cheeks on Jordan, like with all the fakes, like when they got the stitching wrong, and it kind of still is here too.
Double cheeked up, bro.
Yeah, double cheeked up.
Man, crazy.
That's wild. Also, the 23 hit on the back is really cool too. Yeah. It's not as obvious. It's kind of like you kind of got to know what it is. They put the line through the middle of it. No, just something interesting to me.
Yeah, the style of it's interesting. I like the fact that it's kind of like a goldish yellow hit.
Yeah.
In contrast to the rest of the shoe.
This is it's a really good shoe.
I like it.
That blue is really nice.
Okay. Bread 11 low.
And that's another thing too. 11s look good in highs, lows.
Yeah.
They look good everywhere. It's not often that a shoe looks like that good for me.
Now, my favorite 11 of all time is the Bread IE low.
Okay.
That's the one that has like the nets and stuff on the side. It's an ugly
lifestyle
shoe.
Jordan.
No, I mean, it was on court. It was on court.
They took this 11 sole and they cranked out a bunch of lifestyle Jordan shoes in like 2016-ish.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of those. I don't remember what it was called. The Futures.
The Futures.
That's it.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of those. And people hated on them. But dude, like you put those on with a pair of joggers or something like that, and they were accessible as far as price went.
Yeah.
Like the problem is they killed it with colorways. They did grays, blues, reds. They did everything. But there was some in there that like, there was good shoes. Like I would wear them today.
The first two colorways was a Bread, and it was a woven pattern. And within the woven pattern, or maybe it wasn't like woven, but the pattern of it had 3M on the upper.
Ooh.
And then the next version of it, the next colorway was a glow. So it glowed in the dark. And those actually resold.
Wow.
And then following that, they had like a camo pair that did a little bit. But like you said, they did what they always do.
Murdered
Oh,
it.
this is a winner? let's make 5 million colorways. And then at that point, it becomes a not cool shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is cool. It's a skip for me. I do not care about this shoe. I know it's in an absolute classic colorway. You can't go wrong with the bread colorway. But, I mean, people are going to buy it up and love it. And I respect that. I just prefer the bread, i.e. low, personally.
You want to know something? And this might be blasphemous. I don't care for bread colorways.
Okay.
And I respect it. Like, I know what it is. I know what it is for the generation before me that established this whole everything. But for me, it's what's important is what do I like? What do I want to wear?
For sure.
And black and red, I'm not a red guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not too much of a black shoe wearer. Even though I'm wearing some today, it's a hard task for me. So it's like, it's a lot of attention. And that's what it is. Sports colorways. It's a sports team colorway. Chicago Bulls. It's classic. Not the biggest bread guy.
Well, the old purpose of this colorway was the playoff stretch of the season. So whenever they got into the playoff part of the season, they really started breaking out the bread colorways and the black colorways. So in history, it meant something different than what it means now. Cool. It's not on my top 25 to look out for, though, for sure.
Skip?
Yeah, for sure. This right here, in my opinion, the Jordan 1 bread colorway is the best sneaker of all time. Now, it's not my personal favorite. That's the AirTech Challenge 2 Hot Lava. But I think the bread Jordan 1 is just incredible. What's interesting about this is the 85 cut. So it's supposed to be truer to the shape. Now, if it is consistent with all the other 85s that we've gotten over the last few years, it's a thick leather. It's unforgiving.
Narrow?
It's narrow. You definitely have to go up half a size for sure, because it's not going to give. You can wear the snot out of them, and they're just going to stay there. So you need that half a size up. With all that said, this looks great, but guess how much the retail is?
$200.
$250.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I will say, to my understanding, if they're doing the OG leather and if they're doing the classic cut, like to me, the classic cut, higher on the heel instead of more that slant, like mid look.
Yeah.
I love that high heel where it's almost vertical cut across the top. Not quite, but like on the Gorge Towns and a couple other ones they've released over the years. But this leather, from my understanding, used to be kangaroo leather.
Oh, man.
So if they're kind of getting back to that, which Nike made a promise a couple years ago that they would kind of get less and less away from relying on that.
Yeah.
But that's an incredibly durable leather.
Is that even legal to use now?
I don't know.
Is that a protected animal?
Ever since, what's my movie, Ice Cube, where he's fighting the kangaroos, Kangaroo Jack.
Oh, yeah.
You had to ask him. I don't know.
Hey, mess around. Get boxed up by
Mama
kangaroo.
said knock you out.
Hey,
now look. This is a classic shoe. I can't
Absolutely.
hate on it. It's probably the best colorway aesthetically wise. I'm speaking more of like when I wear it. I like looking at it. It's like a great poster. It's like a race car to me. I want to look at the race car. I want to be
like
obsessed
a Ferrari
with the race
on
car.
the wall.
But I don't want to drive the race car.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's too loud.
This is a good shoe. I respect anybody who has this on their 2025 must-have. I'm eager to see what it looks like in hand. That price point is insane. I mean, they're really off their rocker for charging $250 for Jordan 1.
I feel like I remember a time, 145, and then 165, then 175, 185, and then I don't know what happened from there. Are they just jumping the gun that much, like $40?
Man, I don't know the reasoning behind it. I don't know if it has special packaging. I don't know how premium the material is. Now, look, I have no problem paying the ticket for something that is of quality.
If it's better.
But if it's just, hey, this is a cash grab, miss me with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of silly.
They're going to get it, though. Oh, yes. Come on, man. What a beautiful shot, by the way.
Yeah, that's a really cool shot.
I'm not saying that this is an official image, but this is the flu game. Jordan dropped 38 points in the flu game. Absolutely classic performance. In my opinion, this is the best Jordan 12 of all time.
It's definitely the most iconic.
For sure.
I'm surprised they didn't go with the little heel hit here. Or is it on the inside of this one?
What you mean?
The tongue out?
I'm not trying.
You drawing a blank?
I'm drawing a blank.
I'm trying to think. One of the retros, it could have been in the teens when they did it. They had his score. And in the middle of his score, they had the little emoji with a tongue out because he was sick for it.
Oh, yeah. So what you're talking about is the new Buck flu game.
Okay. That's the first time I saw it.
Okay. Wow. That's a crazy first, man. So that's not true to the original. This is the original version.
Okay.
But I know exactly what model you're talking about. And that's a really cool take on a classic colorway.
Yeah.
Like the Friends and Family came with like a doctor's bag and everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It was
cool.
crazy.
Yeah. As soon as you said it, it's just a throwback to the original. It totally makes sense. They wouldn't have come out with the flu game with the score and the tongue emoji already on it. But that's the first time I saw it.
That's cool, man. That's a cool first.
Now I've heard he didn't have the flu.
Allegedly. Some people believe it's bad pizza. Some people believe that he had a hangover.
Yeah.
All I know is he was exhausted and he clearly did not seem well. And he still dropped 38 points.
And he gives Pippen a little hug at the end.
Well, Pippen had to kind of carry him to the bench because he was so fatigued and worn out. But, you know, when you're the GOAT and you're a bona fide champion as he is, you do those things.
Yeah, you get some passes.
Sure, for sure. This is a good shoe.
It's great. I want to look at people wearing it.
This might actually be my first. I've owned 1,000,012s because I own a shoe store, but this might be my first personal. Yeah, I really like this.
Good leather too.
It looks like it.
Oh,
here we go.
Jump.
Yeah, Bugs Bunnies, man. For some people, this is their favorite 8 of all time. I love the 8 model.
It's a lot going on.
But
I love it.
And this is actually like with the 8, you definitely have to go up at least half a size because it has kind of like that additional sock liner in it.
Yeah.
So you do need to get a half size up because of that. But such a great shoe. It reminds me of one of my close friends in middle school. He had a pair of 8s. And I remember I actually cut the Jumpman off of the tongue and I stitched it on a pair of my underwear right at the crotch. Oh man.
You were the Jumpman after that. I don't even know. That's why.
I don't know. Hey, you know. Anyway.
Making buckets out of it.
You know.
Hey, you do what you do. I like this shoe, man. It's very technical. I feel like you can go to war with this shoe.
Seriously.
I love the suede, like little ruffles on the back. To me, that's just a really cool detail. There's just so much going on with this shoe. It's like, it's a combat boot.
Basically. No. I like the side panel, the plastic piece on the side. Yeah. It's so good. There's so much nostalgia wrapped up in that whenever I look at it. I think it's great. I'm not mad at anyone who has this on their like gotta get list. But the next shoe,
I would wear this.
You would wear this one?
Oh yeah. It's like a rollerblade to me. Like it gives me rollerblade aesthetics. It's a really technical shoe. I don't know how I'd wear it. Some pants. I don't know if I'd cuff them up, cuff them down, but it's just different. It's good and different. It's durable too.
You know what needs to happen now?
Tell me.
As this podcast blows up and more people watch this and they catch that clip of you saying, this reminds me of rollerblades, someone needs to soul swap this thing.
Yes.
Put it on some blades and send them to you.
I would love that. Or, even the little ones that you would click out like...
The Heelys?
No. Okay, the Heelys, that's a classic.
For sure.
I'm talking about the ones with the little tiny wheels in the bottom of the shoe. And this is like a really 90s, 2000 things. But you would click like this little button in the back of the shoe and they would deploy like some Agent Cody Banks 007 stuff.
I know what you're talking about.
And they were some tiny little wheels. They were terrible. But they were like scooting around the mall. I don't know. It's good idea.
Heelys did make a cameo on my mood board today.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. I saw dude jumped off the rock.
Yeah, he gave you the John Cena.
You can't see me. Heelys were a time, man.
Yeah.
Whenever they stopped, they came out with the double wheel Heelys. They had the work boot Heelys. They were really trying to push like Heelys in the workplace. Dude, I was in middle school.
Work food Heelys is so funny, man.
Dude, I was in middle school, right? Born in 95. I'm listening to Lil Wayne, Fireman, Stunting Like My Daddy, all this stuff. And I'm trying to walk. And if y'all would know, if y'all were Heely wearers, because they were banned in our school. So I would kind of like walk on the sides. What do you call it? Pronate?
Okay.
Or not prolapse, but pronate or ronate, whatever it's called, where like, because the heel was, the wheel was in the bottom of the heel.
Yeah.
And so every time you would walk, it sounded like you were wearing like little high heels. It was like a clacking noise.
Gotcha.
But if you were good enough, you can kind of walk on the edges of your shoe and you could stop that wheel from clicking on the ground.
Yeah.
And then you could just go. I remember.
You knew how to do it.
Dude, Heelys were the first time I ever got a compliment from a woman in my life. Hey. I might have been like in 6th grade.
Okay.
She looked at me. Her name is Chelsea. Shout out to Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I was in band class. She said, "Those are the Heelys?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Those are fire." And I was like, I guess I'm fire.
That is awesome.
And they're important to me. Before my dad left my life, he tried to come back in it. Okay. With the gift of Heelys.
Whoa.
I turned them away, but I kept the Heelys. So
okay. Well, man.
I got kicked out of the mall in Heelys.
Dude, you have a history, bro.
Dude, the Heelys changed the game for me. I skimmed up all my knees. Me and my cousin would Heely all around the mall and Lowe's. And then like security would chase us. We would hide in the clothes racks. And then like wait till they'd pass, we'd pop out. They would talk to us over the intercom. They got banned in a lot of stores.
Yeah.
But the real Heelys wearer know that Lowe's, Home Depot, those are the best places. So smooth, no rocks. Oh, yeah. Because the worst thing was catching a rock.
For sure.
But
dude, that was a good trip down memory lane, man.
I forget about Heelys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Double wheel Heelys.
You have like an extensive history with Heelys.
Wheelies, doing wheelies in the Heelys. Yeah. Hey.
What did you play in band?
Ooh, a little bit of everything. I played, I couldn't play percussion. My grades weren't good enough. I didn't have enough focus because what happened with percussion is you stood around for most of the class. And then when it was time to play, you just, you hit your little thing, and then you had to go back and be quiet. Well, they knew I wasn't going to sit there, and I was going to be in there like the whole class, you know what I mean? I was going to be banging stuff around, and they just wouldn't let me do it. So we grew up with not a lot of money, so the first instrument I played, like officially in band, besides like Tonette or whatever recorder.
That recorder.
Yeah. Hey, wait.
Completely unnecessary,
crazy
dude, a recorder.
Crazy sidetrack. Somebody brought an actual recorder to my class on the first day whenever I was in like elementary school and we were supposed to purchase a recorder.
Yeah.
They bought like a recorder, like a tape recorder to class.
Come on.
And that's a memory I'll always have.
Yeah.
But I played the baritone, or euphonium, because it was like $15 to rent for the year. My mom was like, "Hey,
done."
And I was okay. Transitioned to like tuba after that, and trombone, upright bass,
horn
drums
section
later. Yeah, a little guitar, a little that. And then I landed back on drums, and that was my thing. Once I was an adult, I was like, I could pick what I want.
Yeah.
Dude, that was my thing, drums. Now, I toured the country with drums, playing with a bunch of bands and all kind of stuff, but moving those things around, terrible. And like probably the most expensive instrument. You got to buy too much stuff for it.
Yeah.
If I could pick, like now, I would be a singer. I can't sing, but dude, you bring your voice. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's free.
That's the instrument.
Yeah. That's the frugal one.
Yeah.
Let's get back to it.
Let's do it. Here you go, man. This is what I consider the best Jordan 8 of all time. Aqua colorway. Crazy. This is on the top 25 list to look out for me. This was actually, that tongue patch is the one that I used.
What color were the boxers?
Man, I can't remember. It was actually within the same color theory, to be honest.
Wow.
So I wasn't like just completely off the rocker with it. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have a hole, or did you kind of like X-Acto knife the patch off of it?
Oh, no, man. I mean, it was, I don't know how I got it off of the Jordan.
Yeah.
But like I almost feel like Action Bronson, where I'm like, dude, the sewing job was so pristine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the perfect placement of the patch. And that's what mattered most.
It was exquisite.
Yeah, it was exquisite.
Marvelous.
So Aqua 8, absolute must have, best 8 in my opinion. These things are going to do numbers for sure.
I want to look at it. I don't want to wear it. I want to see people on it.
It's interesting that you like the hair more than this, but I dig that.
Yeah, it's I didn't come up the way that y'all came up.
Okay.
They don't mean anything to me. It's art to me.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's wearability mixed with art.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
this right here, I have the 2016 version of the shoe in the store. This is what I have to say to everybody. We need to hope and pray that they give us the big swoosh, because we have seen early images that had the small swoosh. Nike, if you made this shoe with the small swoosh, keep them. Throw them away, burn them, donate them. That would be a disgrace. It has to have the big swoosh, or it's just not the proper shoe at all. Now, the pair that I have here, the leather, supple.
yeah,
Wonderful. I just hope that they do not ruin this shoe with the wrong swoosh and with trash leather, because this right here is the best Jordan 1 low of all time.
what I'm worried about is that they're gonna crank this thing. They're gonna
Crank that Soldier Boy. That's what they're gonna do.
Soldier Boy with the locks glasses.
Hey,
But I think
he did it first, man.
he's the first one to ever do it. But I'm worried that they panda dunk this.
Man, I hope not.
And this is like an early look.
Yeah,
The leather from this picture does not look good.
yeah,
Hard to see on an early pair look, but it
Sure.
looks like that same thin, like synthetic leather that I don't like. But this is it. This shoe, way better in a low. To me,
that's an interesting take. It looks great low for sure. I've had both of them, so
there's something about the cut of it, the
Yeah.
wearability of it, to put it on, put it off. Like, it's just a beautiful shoe to me. And I know I said there's more white in this shoe.
yeah,
It's a really, really classic shoe that you could wear with anything. I'm not a red guy. I would buy this shoe. I would wear it. I would beat it. I would not take it off. I
Yeah.
love this shoe. I hope it's good too.
me too, man. I can see you wearing this, and honestly, like that take of you preferring the low over the high. Currently, low top shoes are way more popular than high top shoes.
Really.
I mean, that is absolutely kind of the trend across the board. You can look at Dunks, you can look at SBs, you can look at Jordan 1s. People just really like this group of consumers right now, don't really prefer that high top shoe unless you start getting into kind of the older generation like me, where big, bulky 90s high top shoes were the thing. Most people prefer the low, so that's not a bad take. Oh, man, let's talk about it, dude. Black Toe Jordan 1. Some people absolutely hate this shoe. I've seen it in person. It is great. And what I love about it is usually you have the Wings logo on that panel. But if you take a look at the first photo shoot that Jordan did, he has a pair of black toes around his neck and it has Air Jordan written on the side. So this is like actually proper OG right here. Now they did do something different on the inside panel. It has a signature on it, but it's like a ghost signature. Like you have to really look at it. So I don't think it's distracting. I think it's a good little discovery whenever you see it. But this shoe is good, and it's right on the cusp of like the 25 shoes that are most interesting to me. But I think it's going to be one of those where if people sleep on it and they chose to like overlook it and not go for it, they're going to absolutely regret it.
I hate this.
Come on, man. You don't like it?
No, it looks cheap to me.
Yeah.
No, look, I respect it. I totally get where you're coming from. If that's the first, that's the first.
Yeah.
But you know how they say, not my president?
Hey,
It's not my one.
Okay.
Is this an 85 cut too? It looks pretty high on the back heel. Or is it just kind of a mock-up? Hard to say.
It's not the same cut as that bread.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I get it. I mean, it does, like what you're saying, it does look that
it
way.
gives me like comic book wham, pow.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks unfinished. Now, I mean, but I respect the history behind it because you just taught me something. You dropped some gems on me. I like that.
It's
Pretty
hard
cool.
to beat the Wings logo though, man.
What's the history behind the Wings logo? Obviously Air Jordan, right?
Yeah, basically.
Just
There you go.
bang, bang.
Yeah.
Huh.
As simple as that. Basketball, Wings, Air Jordan. Done.
Easy enough.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about this shoe.
Allegedly,
Allegedly.
best leather of all time.
That's what they say. I've owned this shoe. I had a personal pair. I've had a few different pairs in here before. I remember the local spot was supposed to hold me down, but they didn't. I called them up. They said, man, they're gone. Patrick, they sold them all. He made a phone call to somebody else. That other spot held me down, so I was able to get them. So I do appreciate that. The leather was exceptional. I will say that. My concern about this shoe is because that first pair's leather was so great, I'm scared that they're going to just give us absolute trash leather because they know everybody wants this colorway, or a lot of people want this colorway. Because if they give us anything less than what they gave us the first time, it's a disappointment.
Yeah. I need this shoe.
Yeah.
I will throw away my taxis for this shoe. It's the same shoe.
Yeah.
Different hue.
Sure.
But the leather on the taxis, it's just junk.
Yeah.
But also this orange is just, man, it's so nice. And if this is an image of what it's actually going to look like, I can already tell that this is all going to be real leather. This side profile right here, I'm actually seeing a lot of those fibers in the leather, which lets me believe that it's a real leather. Because you can't get those fibers that you like, because like leather's in layers.
Mm-hmm.
And so suede is usually the cheaper part of the leather, where it's like much more fibrous, but then it's kind of like a book, I guess, if you will. And then once you get towards the smooth, like leather skin side of things, that's where it starts to get more expensive.
Gotcha.
So what really happens is they start splitting that in sections and sections and sections. And to see the actual fibers underneath it leads me to believe that that's actually real leather.
Okay.
And even in the white, I can see it in the white right here on the tongue. Like a big spot where they really cheap out usually is the like toe cap, the toe box. But this it all looks
pretty
really
good to you?
Yeah, it looks good. I actually saw, and even it looks great. I actually saw somebody with the chicken greases yesterday. The deep fried patent crackle leather.
The part 3.0
or 3?
3.0, yeah.
I don't know what they were doing with that, but kind of like it brought me back. He was working at Best Buy, so I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
But like seeing them, and they were beat.
Yeah.
They looked good. I've never seen a pair beat. I thought they were so ugly when they first came out, and I guess they were trying to mimic actual like a backboard shattering. I don't know what was going on with that. But beat, they look so much better.
Yeah.
They had some age to it. The leather was all cracked. Like, it came out already kind of cracked and increased, but his creases in it, man, it just made it look so good. Something was really good about that.
Yeah, the whole purpose of the 3.0, that kind of sheen to it, that kind of patent leatherish finish to it, was supposed to mimic glass, and then all the crackles in it is supposed to look like shattered glass. So
it was weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
I dug it. I liked it. Now, the back image, that's actually the insole of the first pair that came out. So hopefully they do that again. And this colorway and the theme is actually inspired by an exhibition game that Jordan played.
Okay.
And he dunked on somebody and shattered the glass all over the dude.
Damn.
Like, you can see the clip. It's actually kind of crazy. But that's the whole like story behind the shoe.
I was always kind of curious about that because I've seen, at least 10 clips of Shaq shattering backboards.
Oh, yeah, man.
But
Dude.
I've never seen it of Jordan doing it. So it was an exhibition game? Is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah. And it was weird. Like, he was playing a foreign team. He was in a black and orange
I was kind of curious
jersey.
about this because it means a lot to a lot of people, this colorway. And they've pumped it out. I even like the Starfish, the Lowe's.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a great shoe to me. But I never knew why. I never knew why everybody else loved it. I just loved the colors.
Yeah.
I didn't know the story behind it. So what was that about? Exhibition somewhere random?
Man, I think it was, I don't know the entire history of it, but I think it was one of those things where they sent some NBA players overseas to kind of expand the game. Because the NBA wasn't like fully global back then.
Right.
Like it is now. I will say this, though. In regards to 1, 2, and 3, 2 is the sleeper pair, man. In my opinion, it's really good. It's Chicago 1 color blocking.
Yeah.
So it's real good. Let's see what's next. Oh man, Ferrari 14s, bro. What a shoe.
Hey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to wear this shoe.
Yeah.
I love this shoe.
Okay. Awesome.
After the Ferrari, was it Tesla Rosso, whatever it is, with the side hits on the side.
Yeah.
The vents on the side of it. Jordan logo shaped like the Ferrari logo. Carbon fiber hits all over it. I mean, it's just a cool concept. Something different.
Yeah.
Really cool shoe. I wouldn't know how to wear it. And all that suede, I'd be terrified of it.
Oh, dude, you got to treat it. You got to spray it, protect it. Great shoe. I mean, thematically, execution perfect. When this shoe first came out, I cooked on them, man. I flipped them.
Yeah.
And what's funny is, like, they were sitting in the Acadiana Mall, and you could kind of pick them up with ease. But, you know, I was selling shoes out of my truck, so I picked up a few pairs, and I like it. I think a lot of people are going to be very excited. I have a feeling that this won't be necessarily a quick strike, but it's definitely going to be a more limited release, is my hunch.
I mean,
good shoe though.
There's so many like hidden details. Like if I could just sit on this shoe for a second, that makes me appreciate this shoe. Like even though I wouldn't wear it, but in a lot of these luxury cars and these hypercars, these supercars, if y'all nerds out there know, they've got what they call Alcantara on dashboards and on the sides. It's a durable plush suede. Okay. It doesn't reflect light. So that's what this suede is kind of mimicking in this.
Okay.
On top of that, you've got the perforations in the heel cup and the tongue, which is seat material and steering wheel material, kind of mimicking the leather perforations on a steering wheel of a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you've got these little canards right here on the side, which is just more of like an aerodynamic package in the carbon fiber. And there's a lot of details in this shoe that are just super, super cool.
And it's kind of subtle and not overdone.
Yeah. It's
well executed.
I love that. Like, that's one of my favorite things is like, it's not obvious what it is, but if you know, you know. And I hate saying that because it's corny.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can really dig into it and kind of nerd out on it without being super obvious. Yeah. That's really cool. That's like, to me, that's peak design. That's someone did the design right. It's getting a message across, but not screaming it. Yeah. It's like, there's art in that subtlety that I really appreciate.
I think, we can't see it in this pic, but you see where they have the silver.
Yeah.
It does wrap around to the other side, and where it wrap arounds to the other side, they actually have a vent to allow breathability for the shoe, and it looks like metal mesh. So whenever the shoe comes out, that's definitely something that I think would be a detail that you would really appreciate. Yeah. UNC's, man. It's going to be a reimagined version of the shoe. So we don't know if it's going to have like the crackled leather texture like the Lost and Founds.
Yeah.
I will say that I have a size 13 of the shoe in the store. It was a super limited release. It's not the reimagined version. It's the one that it's such a good shoe. I love this colorway. I hope that they do it justice because it deserves it, because it's not a color that they typically use on a Jordan 1 like that. And it harkens back to his days at UNC, man. So I'm interested to see what the finished product will look like. This is not an official image, so we don't know what it really looks like at this point. I mean, at least I don't. Someone might have the pics, but
I'll say this, much more of a fan of UNC colorway in general than Chicago.
Okay.
I don't know how people sit with that usually. I know it's kind of like you like both usually and people appreciate it.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like just much more wearable. Like just in my everyday. Like the turbo green ones that came out back then.
Super good.
And this just gives me kind of like homage to that. Obviously, that's kind of based off of this. But
yeah, it's
just such a wearable color. That light blue, you can wear it with so much. Really pretty. It's a pretty shoe. Instead of a sporty shoe, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Love that shoe.
I agree, man. Good shoe. Oh, man. This is the Shadow 10. So I'm not sure if it has the toe cap. It might. The article that I've searched to find this image talked about it having the toe cap. This is what I'll say. If it does or it doesn't, I don't care. This is a great colorway. I'm excited for it. We have a supporter of the store, Dean. Mm-hmm. He loves this shoe. So the first time that I saw that it was announced, I immediately DM'd him and I was like, bro, they're bringing back the shadows for you. And he was gassed up. So I hope he gets as many pairs as he possibly wants. I love this colorway. I think it's great. On one of the mood boards that I'm going to release in one of these Mondays, there's actually a look-see sample of like an all black and red Jordan 10 that never saw the light of day. And it's like from an Japanese magazine cutout from way back in the day. Yeah. It's super good. I'll show that eventually. But I love the Shadow 10, man. I think it's good. What you think? Do you prefer this or the white pair?
If I had to wear them, the white pair for sure.
You seem to really navigate more towards the white shoe.
It's an easier wear, man. Like for me, I'm trying to base it off of like everything I would wear things with.
Yeah.
I like on a silhouette of an outfit, I want the shoe to stand out, but not go crazy.
Okay.
So like I want it to finish the outfit.
Yeah.
To me, with a black shoe, usually what happens is in an outfit, it just kind of all blends together.
Okay.
And it looks like you're kind of wearing socks with like the Yeezy Pods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just kind of dissolves.
Yeah.
And I want something that kind of like finishes off.
Okay.
Like it's like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
An exclamation.
Yeah.
Taxi 12s, man. This is the first shoe that I ever sold back in 2013. I still have the shipping label from eBay. I saved it. This shoe is the second best Jordan 12 of all time. I'm not mad at anyone who has it as number one. It's absolutely classic. I think it just has the right amount of color of all the things.
Yeah.
You know, the gold hits, the red hits. It's perfectly balanced, in my opinion. Yeah, I think this is a great shoe. I know a ton of people are excited about it. I'm excited about it. If I'm going for either or, I'm definitely probably going to navigate more towards the Flu Game personally.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, it's a good shoe.
I would easily wear this shoe.
Yeah.
What's the significance? Why is it the Taxi?
Just colors.
Just colors.
Just colors.
Landed on that.
Yeah.
I was curious if it had, a story behind it or something like that. But
well, honestly, like the whole era of every shoe has to have a name. In the 90s, that wasn't the case. So like the Flu Games were called the Flu Games only because he played in that shoe and had the flu. It didn't release as the Flu Game.
Right.
So this didn't release as like
the Taxi.
It just became that.
Yeah.
And I'm actually kind of a fan of that. And I kind of hope that we move more towards that, where it can develop a mystique and a story unto itself, as opposed to like a prefabricated story and a nickname kind of shoved down our throats. Pause.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, that was a bad one. But this is a great shoe. I think it's going to do well. I'm excited for it.
When they start digging in, trying to force stories behind our throat.
Stupid.
Again, pause.
Pause.
Was it I think they released a pair of ones maybe last year before, where it was kind of a cool idea, but they were like really reaching. They pulled from the original photo that they snapped of Jordan doing his signature move, like the sunset in the background. Skyline. And it was just like, y'all are really reaching. Cool concept.
Yeah.
But what's the story? Was he in New Balance whenever he first did that pose, that first image of him doing the dunk? I've heard that.
I don't remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know the exact image that you're talking about. Matter of fact, we had a super rare vintage Jordan shirt that had the entire skyline.
Yeah.
That image of him in the Jumpman pose in that color gradient that those shoes came out in. I will say this about the skyline from last year. I think it's a good shoe. I actually am not mad at the story, and the box that it came in was really good. But I also agree with you in the sense of, like, this year they're having a Jordan 3 come out and they're called Lucky Shorts because Jordan wore lucky shorts underneath his other shorts. And I'm like, you know what, man? I love MJ. I think he's the GOAT. You can kind of keep that one.
Yeah.
The colorway is not bad, but dude, not every freaking colorway needs to have
I feel like they're
some type of story.
Digging. But I mean, the history's there, and that's what it's built around.
Yeah,
so
fair.
I get it. Cool.
I mean, it's going to be good for somebody.
Yeah, somebody's going to buy it.
Yeah.
Bang, check that out.
Pure Money 3s. Yeah, this is a good shoe. I really like it. I like the silver hits that it has. I really like the silver eyelet at the very top. The rest of them are a gray, kind of true to the Jumpman on the back, but you have that silver shimmer on the top one, which is a good break in the color scheme. It gives another dimension because you have almost a monochromatic shoe right here.
Right.
But I like the fact that it does have some of those details. I know a lot of people are excited about this. This is a non-OG 3 that people tend to really love. And dude, it's an all white shoe almost that you can just wear with literally almost anything.
I would not wear this shoe.
No? And your track record up to this point was heavy white.
Yeah.
And then we get to the whitest.
It's too much. Would you wear this? I've never seen you in a simple shoe like this.
No, I would not. I wouldn't wear this. Although, like back in the Nike Bayou days or the Nike ID days, I would typically make all blue monochromatic shoes. So I'm not mad at monochromatic shoes. This is just not something that I would wear. I tend to, like, if I'm choosing between white and black shoes, I tend to choose black shoes over white shoes.
Hey.
And then I tend to choose color over white or black shoes.
Okay.